Alright guys, so there's been a request for me to make a video about how to go to do the labs. So I'm happy to do that for you guys. The first thing I want to talk about though is just what you should kind of be doing every day, just to reiterate. So the first thing I would do is go to the syllabus, find the lectures and find the day that we're on, and see what material we're supposed to be covering that day. So you see on Tuesday, we do the intro. Today, which is Wednesday, we're doing the chapter 1. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing chapter 2. Okay, so from there, you can go to the Blackboard, and then find the announcements tabs. That's where you should load in. See if I posted anything for you guys. Okay, then go to the lecture slides. Download the slides for that chapter if you need to. And then you should see the lecture videos. And I'll post the links to the videos that I make. Okay, and then there's some worksheets and stuff you can find below that. Okay, so after that, the best thing to do, would be to go ahead and do the lab for that day. Okay, so back to the calendar, come down to the lab, and see what lab you're supposed to be working on. Okay, so for Tuesday, you're supposed to do lab safety and the safety quiz. Then on Wednesday, you were supposed to do glassware and measurement. And then on Monday, you see it jumps from Wednesday to Monday. You're supposed to do lab measurement. So the lab traditionally runs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whereas the lecture traditionally runs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so Monday through Thursday, be sure you're keeping up with the lecture material, and Monday through Wednesday, make sure you're keeping up with the lab material. Now you have some extra time in there, but be sure you keep up with those due dates. Okay, so that's going to be super, super important. Okay, so once you're ready to work on the lab, you can come to your web browser, go to Labflow, and you should see something like this. Okay, so you'll probably just see one course unless you're using another class, or in another class that's using this as well. So find your 1411 class. Okay, and that's going to load you into this page. Okay, so once you're here, basically you have several different topics. Okay, so every time you click your scroll wheel, if you're using one, it'll go to a different topic. Okay, so the first one, we have safety and introduction to laboratories. So there's a bunch of videos here, and what you need to find is there's a little scroll bar down at the bottom. So it almost just looks like a line breaker, but it's actually a scroll bar. And so you can scroll to the right, and you can see all the different videos that go along with that topic. And then at the very end, you're going to see a safety quiz, okay, along with the due dates here. Okay, so you're going to click on that, and it's going to tell you how many attempts you have. So on the quizzes, you have 2 attempts. You have a 90-minute time limit, and it's been open from Monday, and it closes Wednesday close to midnight. Okay, and then on yours, you'll have one that says, I think, begin activity, something like that. Okay, I've already started this, so it just says continue. So you'll click on continue. Okay, and it'll bring you to whatever question you were on. So this one is asking about just some signage. Okay, so it says identify each lab safety sign pictured. So this has a picture of an eyeball and some water splashing onto it. So that's an Iowa station, right? Okay, then we have a diamond with a gas cylinder in it. So I would click this one and say, oh, okay, there's, I don't know, maybe this is a gas cylinder. Or it could be a safety diamond. Okay, something like that. So this one I'm going to say is a gas cylinder. Okay, then once you're done, you'll click next and go on to the next question. And then there's a chance for you to review at the end. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll go back to the home course screen, and it's always going to load you at the top, so you have to scroll down to the next subject. So for today on Wednesday, you're supposed to be going over this glassware and measurement. Okay, so you'll again use that scroll bar to move to the right, and you'll see a couple of videos, and then a pre-lab quiz, and then where you actually submit your data report. So the quiz will all be sort of similar. Where you click it, it'll tell you have 2 attempts. This one you have 30 minutes. It opened on Monday, and it closes on the 4th. Okay, and then you'll kind of do the same thing here. Okay, so you click continue or start begin attempt, I think it says, and you'll put in your answers. Okay, once you're done, you'll submit that. Come back to the home page, and again, it's always going to load you on the top. So scroll back down, click on the scroll bar, go all the way to the right, and this is where you'll see your lab report. Okay, so mine's going to look a little bit different than yours, simply because I have this sort of code box here that tells the program how to respond to you. But the most important thing here, right at the beginning, it says, are you completing this experiment online? Okay, so this lab software is meant to be either used as a pre-lab or as the actual online lab itself. Okay, so we're using it as the lab. So to this question on each lab report, are you completing this experiment online? You're going to want to select the answer yes. What that's going to do is it's going to have the program generate the data for you, and you'll be able to fill out the lab report. Okay, so do that, and then hit submit, and just make sure you turn that in on time. Okay, then you'll go to the next activity. Okay, so whatever day you're supposed to do this one, you can come do it on that day, or you could do it ahead of time if you would like. Okay, so introduction to lab measurements. Again, just scroll to the right, and you see you have a pre-lab quiz. Okay, so it says continue. So this one is due on the 8th at 11 a.m. Okay, so you have 30-minute time limit, etc. You can kind of see all the details there. Okay, so I'll go back here, scroll down, and now I want to go to my lab report. So I'll go over to the right, and I'll click here. And again, it's always going to ask you, are you completing this experiment online? And you're going to say yes. Okay, so just to show you what one looks like where I haven't touched anything, let's see. Okay, so I can come here to the pre-lab quiz. And see it says attempt quiz. So that's what you're going to be seeing. Okay, so just pay close attention to your due dates. And that should be good to go. So probably in terms of the due date. So there are some overrides being involved here. So hopefully it will show you the correct due date. I can verify for that for you. But basically whatever day this says, I've set it to be due that night. Okay, so since we're traditionally supposed to be a night class, I've set that due at night. So hopefully those due dates will show up correctly for you. It's interesting to me it doesn't show the overrides to you. But generally speaking, you'll have until 5:30 to do those or so. Or 8 o'clock, I think, is when the lab starts. Okay, so that's how to use Labflow. The other thing people have been having trouble with is the Sapling. So when you log into Sapling, you should see this type of screen where you can find your classes. You'll probably see some old ones if you took them. Okay, but just choose the one you're trying to get into. So this is 1411. You should come to this screen, and if you scroll down, you'll see there's some optional practice material just for extra studying or practice. And then you'll see the different chapters. Okay, so you'll see the due date is all set to June 30th, so you have a lot of time to do these. I would advise you do not wait until the night before to start these. They are quite long. So this is the best way for you to, or one of the best ways for you to figure out what it is you don't know and what it is you do know. Okay, so work on these homeworks. And if you get stuck, you can go see the SLC. You can talk to me. Okay, but this is a really, really good way for you to practice. Okay, so you should be able to see all these homeworks now. So that's how to use Labflow. That's how to kind of go from day to day. Make sure you check your email and see if there's any information from me and that kind of stuff. Okay. So with Labflow, just real quick, I wanted to double check on some of these due dates. So with Labflow, essentially you have until 8 p.m. the day that it says. So I'm not sure if there's a way for me to display the actual override. The way this is set up, we have one section with overrides for each class. Okay, so I don't know if there's a way for me to display those for you, but you will have until the day that it says, until 8 p.m. to turn things in. Okay, if there's anything else you need help with, please do let me know. That's all for now.